So a little behind the scenes thing here for patrons. Last night's power rankings did what I had a feeling they'd do that. And I understand Pittsburgh fans' point of view. I do. But for me, I mean, Chicago's on a 3-game losing streak, but they've been playing well. Dallas has a 4-game winning streak. I know Pittsburgh does too. Let me finish. Boston has 6 wins in their last 7. Calgary, coming into last night, looked really good. Calgary, I think I had them 10th before last night. The Rangers have been playing well. New Jersey, other than last night's game, has been playing well. Kings have won 4 in a row. Capitals have been playing really well. The Islanders, honestly, I had them in second at one point last week. They were almost first. I said to Yvonne on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, I said, oh my God. If the Islanders win and Nashville loses their next game, I legitimately would probably have to make the Islanders number 1. Toronto moves up to 6th, St. Louis 5th, Columbus 4th, Tampa Bay I have 3rd. I had them as low as 6th this week. I had them down at number 6. And Winnipeg's at 2. I had them as low as 5 this week. And it's funny because people always look at my video on Saturday and they say, well, last Saturday you had them here. Yeah, teams move quite a bit. Pittsburgh was as high as, I think they were 14th before last night's action. But back-to-back wins over Buffalo. And then the game before that, the Tampa game, let me just go ahead and grab my pop here because I got a caffeine headache that's starting to really rage. The Tampa Bay game, I had a hard time handicapping that. And I'm going to explain why. How many goals did they score on 5-on-3 power plays? Can I say legitimately, well, Tampa, looked terrible. Pittsburgh looked great when they're all 5-on-3 power play goals? I think there were 3 of them. So I couldn't move Pittsburgh up. And I moved Tampa down only for a lack of discipline, which can really cost you in the playoffs. But for me, I couldn't say, well, Pittsburgh played a great game because 5-on-3, teams score quite often. It's not like they don't score very often. So I was kind of lost on that one. And it's, the funny thing is nobody from Vegas seemed to be upset that Vegas dropped a whole bunch. I had to drop Vegas down to 17th. I had them at 13th last night. Last night, they didn't play, and they dropped 4 spots. And it gets harder and harder because there's so many three-point games. So overtime wins, shootout wins. And then, here's a 4-game winning streak and a 3-game losing streak, but shootout. So they're ties. It gets harder and harder for me from week to week to do this. And I got maybe 6 hours sleep last night. Maybe. I don't sleep well these days. Because the channel really is 24/7. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, it's all Pittsburgh fans in the comment section. We were 15th last week. I don't know. I do these videos and then by Tuesday I won't remember where anybody was. Because everybody's moved except Buffalo and probably Nashville. I find it so weird that people put so much stock into my power rankings. And then I see people saying you should go. There was one that said you should go by a point system. You should go by, and he had some other suggestion too. And I'm like, well, wait, what? You want me to change the system? Well, then I have to throw out my power rankings. I already do enough research. Like the amount of time I take away from Yvonne for this. Yvonne's trying to make out with me this morning, and I'm busy answering comments in the comment section. That's when I tweeted out it might be time to start ignoring the comment section. Because I am legit neglecting my wife for the comment section on YouTube. Legitimately. That video last night, it took an hour for it to upload. Because when they're long like that, it takes an hour for them to upload. And I have to make sure it monetizes. Have to. One trick that I've found that sadly works, if I don't have NHL as a tag word, it looks like it monetizes okay. But that sucks. Because NHL is going to be a very common search term that's going to bring up my videos. It means my videos won't get tied to NHL videos anymore. It really sucks. and the only other option is that I wait a day before I can make any monetization money on it. And videos like this preview that I just uploaded, they don't get attention. They just don't. So I sat last night and I thought of I'm going to do top 10 GMs. I did this last year. But this is going to have to be alcohol. Because trying to figure out top 15, top 20 GMs is hard. Trying to figure out top 10, it's damn near impossible. And honestly, it goes on, for me, it goes on team standing and how I feel that the team has done under the GM. And when I post it, I guarantee people are going to say, if you look at this resource, it shows this guy's actually crap for drafting. Well, this one, the problems that he has, they aren't his fault. They're the problems of the guy before him. Like, every fan base has to descend and tell me I'm wrong. Why? Why? Like, it's not a debate. Like, if you say, the Flames won the game tonight, I think they did really well. I can say, well, I thought they won. I thought there were some parts they could have done better. See how that's different? Then when I look in the comments section and I see, you're wrong. You're retarded. You clearly don't watch the games. You really don't know what you're talking about. My favorite one is you're clearly full of yourself. I'm composed. I look at the camera as much as possible. I talk as if I know what I'm talking about, because if I went, I don't know who's going to win tonight. I don't have any idea. Every time I look at the Blackhawks logo, it just brings me back to my childhood. Like, if I came across as a simpering child, or if I just went, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know who's going to win. I don't have a clue. And I kind of do that. I don't know who's going to win. But I have to at least present it in such a way that, I sound knowledgeable. Like TSN and Sportsnet and ESPN. You at least need to sound knowledgeable. There's times I'm watching those guys too where I'm like, oh, they didn't watch the game. There's one guy, I'm trying to think of which sports guy it is. It's on crap. I'm gonna have to tweet out next time I hear it. There's one guy on Sportsnet. It's either Sportsnet or no. There's the sports guy on Global, our local Global here. He does not watch sports. He gets so many names wrong. And they're commonly known names. And I hear him spit it out and I'm like, wow, you don't watch sports. Like, I get names wrong, sure. But, they just don't sound like they know what they're talking about. So when I do these videos, I try to make it sound like I know what I'm talking about. My power rankings, the funny thing is, people get mad like, oh, Pittsburgh's won 4 in a row. Look what they've done. Yeah, Vancouver just beat Nashville and Toronto. Nashville's number 1, Toronto's number 6. They've still got Vancouver at 19. Give your head a shake. They lost to the Rangers in a shootout. They're not playing bad. And I got them at 19. I don't get it. It's like, there was a comment, too, on the video where I was talking about last night's games where I talked about Laurent Brossoit from Edmonton. And, the comment is, leave him alone. He made some good saves. Okay. Any goaltender at an NHL level will make good saves. You show me any game by Antti Niemi this year, and I guarantee you he at least made one save during the game that the announcer said, great save by Niemi. That was a very good save. Because they're NHL goaltenders. Of course he made good saves in the first 2 periods. It's the third when he allowed goals that I went, wait, that went in? The Sam Bennett goal, I was like, how the hell did that go in? It's like you have to intentionally go, I bet you can't get it in here. Well, got it in there. Guys, I didn't know he shot. He's pretty good. Coach, that kid's pretty good. Don't worry, we're still up 6-2. What? Oh, while I was talking to you, another one in? We're still up 6-3. It's fine. What do you mean it's 6-4? No, I'm just talking. That went through my legs. I didn't even see it. 6-5. You guys are on drugs. It was 6 to... Oh, that's the scoreboard. Crap. I don't even know what I was looking at. Yay, we win. Like, I just... To me, it looked like Brossoit allowed that 6-2 goal, and his confidence left him. And if you have a goaltender who, when he allows a goal, goes, I don't know. I'm done. I'm done. He's probably not going to be very good for you. The best example I can think of from Vancouver was I used to get frustrated with Dan Cloutier for that. Dan Cloutier could be having a great game. 25 saves, first 2 periods. 25 saves. It's a shutout so far for Cloutier. Canucks are up 2-0. And he'd allow a goal in the first minute of the third. And you'd watch his shoulder slump. And you just see like the air went out of him. And you'd be like, oh no. Come on, Dan, don't do this. And next thing you know, it's 3-2 and they're pulling him. Because he allowed 3 goals in 5 minutes. People don't remember the saves if the goaltender allows 4 goals in a period. People don't look back and go, well, he was good for 2/3 of the game. That's not how it works. Your car breaks down, you go, well, it made it 2/3 of the way to work. It's not a bad car. I don't need to fix it. It's fine. Same with a goalie. You're as good as the last shot you faced. It is a horrible position. It's brutal. It's the same as pitching. Pitcher can be awesome. No hitter, 5th inning. And then all of a sudden he can't get anybody out. He leaves the game. He's pitched 5 2/3 innings. He's allowed 6 earned runs. And nobody cares about those first 5 innings. Nobody cares. If anything, the narrative is, well, he looks good, but when he tires himself out, he's done. There's some questions about whether or not they're going to put him into the bullpen. Next thing you know, you're a middle reliever. You're nothing. You're gone. It is brutal. So I just needed to vent just a little bit before I get on with my next video, which is ranking the GMs in the league. Which, spoiler alert, Jim Benning's not number 1, but he also wasn't number 31. In fact, what the hell? Let me tell you guys how I ranked 31 through 11. Okay, 31 through 11. At 31, I have Jason Botterill of Buffalo because he was just hired, and they're crap. At 30, I have Ken Holland of Detroit because he's the one that caused the salary cap problems. He kept the wrong guys and signed them for too much. 29, I have Dale Talon because Florida's still crap. And it's not showing any signs of necessarily getting better. We can blame everything on Tom Rowe all we want, but results. 28, I have Rob Blake. Because, yes, the Kings have got better, but I can't put Rob Blake higher because he hasn't been there long enough. Body of work isn't big enough. 27, John Chayka. I know people are still sold on him in Arizona. I don't know why. I think he just throws crap at the board, and when something works, it's like, yay, look, I did something. 26, I have Joe Sakic. He would have been 31, but that trade for Duchesne was fantastic. Now he has to... he needs one more really, really solid move to get there. 25, I have Jim Benning. So I did not put Benning higher than other people would have thought. 24, I have Brian McClellan in Washington because cap. I really think that what's happened with Washington is sad. I know they're good on the power rankings right now and they look like they're going to make the playoffs. They are not capable of going on a long run with this depth. They're not. They're one injury away from being an American Hockey League level team. And it's just they just don't have the organizational depth. 23, Mark Bergevin in Montreal. Yeah, I put Bergevin at 23 because I don't think he's the worst. I know a lot of Montreal fans think he's the worst. Well, not now. They've won 5 in a row, so clearly he's the best. 22, Garth Snow with the Islanders. 21, I have Peter Chiarelli from Edmonton. Yeah, I know. I had him number 1 last year. 20, Jim Nill in Dallas, because defense and goaltending are still an issue. They're always an issue. 19, Ron Francis in Carolina. I think I would have ranked him lower, but there's still a lot of good young pieces there, and they're still in the mix for a playoff spot. I know they're not going to make it, but they're in the mix. 18, I have George McPhee in Vegas. Oh, everybody will have him as GM of the year, and I'm going to take a lot of abuse for not having McPhee in the top 10, but the situation that happened with Shipachev to me is inexcusable. That was poor management and $4.5 million for, I don't know what he was thinking. I really don't. And I know they're the greatest expansion team ever, but I still think if he had made better deals and if he'd been a little more ballsy about it, a little more, I'm taking this guy if you expose him, and not, okay, I'll take Grabovski back. He could have had a better team. And I think he could have handled everything better. 17, he's also still got too many NHL level defensemen. 17, Doug Wilson. San Jose's just meandering, so I gave him a meandering number. 16, Ron Hextall. Yeah, I still think Hextall isn't that bad. It's funny. During the offseason and during last season, I had people saying, well, Hextall should be top 10. Look at the draft record. And now I see Flyers fans like, we gotta get rid of Hextall. Hextall's terrible. Yeah, I try not to do that. I try not to be reactionary. 15, Pierre Dorian, which makes me unpopular, and people say that I bandwagon even though I don't. Pierre Dorian in Ottawa would have been higher if not for the Duchesne trade, and if not for the fact that the team's clearly spinning its wheels. And a team spinning its wheels like that comes down to the GM, because if you don't get rid of the coach is the problem, that's on you. And if it's the roster the coach has that's the problem, that's on you too. 14, I have Don Sweeney. I'd put him higher, but Boston isn't higher in the standings, and I'm still not convinced that not drafting Barzal was a good move. That still makes me angry. Could have had Barzal and Konechny. Like, Boston could have been a juggernaut down the middle. That would have been so awesome, and he didn't do it. Instead, we've got... I realize DeBrusk's on the team, but we could have drafted the other two with DeBrusk and had such an amazing forward group. And it's not that these guys were off the boards either. They were right there. And I was yelling at my television, draft Matt Barzal. Barzal, however, I don't care how you say it. I wanted the Bruins to draft him, and when he didn't, I almost died inside. I was so angry. Then the Islanders proudly select Matthew Barzal. I'm like, you can barely contain yourself, can you? Still makes me a little bit upset. A little bit. 13, Brad Treliving in Calgary. I don't think he fixed goaltending. That's between me and you guys. 12, Jeff Gorton in New York. Rangers fans are going to be like, where's Gorton? People are going to say Nick Holden reasons keeps him out of the top 10, and they'll fight amongst themselves. Number 11, the last one that I eliminated was Cliff Fletcher in Minnesota. And it was hard not to put him in the top 10. Because he could see that Eric Stahl had something left to give, and I didn't see it. So there you go. There's 31 through 11. If you want to see 10 through 1, you'll have to watch that video on my channel. And if you watch that video on my channel, now you know 11 through 31. So there's a little bit of something for you guys on Patreon. Thanking you for your patronage. I'll talk to you again soon.